Hey guys, it's Brie. I wasn't originally going to do a monthly haul, mostly because I wasn't planning on buying anything. I was planning on doing hashtag read my own damn books, which after I read a lot of what was on my TBR and committed to doing that during January, and then I cleared out all the things that were kind of just so far backlisted that I no longer was interested in reading them or knew that I wouldn't like them. I really didn't actually have a ton of books on my TBR, at least not a ton for somebody like me who reads constantly. And so I sold some of my books that I knew I wasn't going to read, got some store credit, treated myself after a couple of stressful days, and then got a bunch of review copies in the mail. So I have actually a surprisingly large amount of things, well, that weren't here in my apartment to begin with. So I'm going to go ahead and do a haul. I will show you what I've got. Some of this you might have seen. Let's see, if you watched my March TBR, a couple of these show up in there. I'm also going to show you some of the comics that I got for the month, because I always think that that's kind of fun and I don't do it nearly as much as I would like. So I'm going to start with the things I bought myself. I have 9 things that I purchased, which is quite a bit. Granted, I think I will get through a lot of them very quickly. So the first thing I have is the Tropic of Serpents and the Voyage of the Basilisk. These are by Marie Brennan. They're part of her Memoirs by Lady Trent books. They're kind of like, they're memoirs set in the kind of Victorian or Regency era setting about a woman who decides to become a naturalist who studies dragons. It's really quite enjoyable. I read the first one last month and really liked it. So when I saw these ones for super cheap, like less than $2 a pop on Book Outlet, I grabbed them. Then I have Lois McMaster Bujold's Paladin of Souls. This is one that I've been wanting to read, especially since I read Curse of Chalion. So I grabbed this one. I have Tooth and Claw by Jo Walton. Jo Walton is one of my favorite authors, and this is one of the very few books of hers that I haven't read. It's a kind of Pride and Prejudice meets dragons story, and I'm looking forward to it. I have Neil Hopkinson's Brown Girl in the Ring. I really like what I've read of Neil Hopkinson's stuff before, and so I'm excited to read some more of her stuff. This is one that she's most well known for. I have Tobias Buckle's Crystal Rain. This is one of his earlier books, I think. I have Shades of Milk and Honey by Mary Robinette Kowal. I'm really looking forward to this. This is a bit of a Regency magic story. I've heard really good things, and I really like Mary Robinette Kowal. And I have The Prestige by Christopher Priest. This is the book that the movie was based off of, and I love the movie. Surprisingly, I have never read this, so I'm looking forward to it. And then the last thing that I bought myself is a little bit, not unusual for me, but a little bit of a different format. It is a bind-up of 2015, the year's best science fiction and fantasy novellas. It's got stuff by James S.A. Corey, Nancy Kress, Pat Rothfuss, Genevieve Valentine, and I'm looking forward to it. I think there's something like 7 or 8 novellas in this. Then I got a bunch of stuff in the mail for review, some of which I'm really, really excited about. I have The Winged Histories by Sofia Samatar. This is about 4 women during a kind of political rebellion. It's set in the same world as A Stranger in Alondria. This is by Small Beer Press. It says it's out March 15th, but Goodreads says it's out March 1st, so I don't know. Keep an eye out for it. Sofia Samatar is pretty great. I should be actually reading that this week. Then I have Ken Liu's The Paper Menagerie. This is a short story collection, and I'm over halfway through with the stories. They're fantastic. I have A Criminal Magic by Lee Kelly. This is from Saga Press. It is like a 1920s meets magic kind of story, and I'm a bit of a sucker for that. That's one of my favorite kind of junk food SFF novels are almost always like set in the 1920s. But it looks like it's got gangs and mobs and smugglers, so it should be a good time. I have The People in the Castle by Joan Aiken. I don't actually know a ton about Joan Aiken. This is a short story collection of hers. And I've heard good things, I just haven't really read her. So I'm really looking forward to getting the opportunity to read some of her short fiction. This is going to be out from Small Beer Press in April. And then Orbit sent me A Crown for Cold Silver by Alex Marshall. I didn't request this. It just showed up at my door, which is kind of fun. So I actually know nothing about it, but I do know it's blurbed by Cameron Hurley on the back. And y'all know I love Cameron Hurley. So then that leaves us with comics. I have my stack. The one thing that's not here is The Newest Descender. I can't find where I snuck it away. I hid it so well, I hid it for myself. So the first thing I have is Jim Henson's The Storyteller Dragons. I have no clue what this is other than that it's got Jim Henson's name on the top and the storyteller. The art looks pretty great. It looks very Henson-esque. And I just have such a weakness for Jim Henson. Like anything that has to do with puppets or puppeteering in the 90s or that kind of story. Anything that has to do with puppets or Muppets, I really like. I can't help it. I got Faith #1. This is out from Valiant. This has been all over my Twitter feed. I think partly because I follow Valiant and Jeff Lemire. That's what the cover looks like. Let's see if I can show you a little bit of the art inside. Also from Valiant, I have the death-defying Dr. Mirage Second Lives. I have the first 3 of these actually, and I have not yet read them. But I really liked the first death-defying Dr. Mirage kind of story arc. This is by Jen Van Meter, who is married to Greg Rucka. So if you've read Lazarus, same family, same household at least. Plutona by Jeff Lemire. This is #4. This is a story about a bunch of kids who find a dead superhero in the woods. And they're kind of trying to decide what to do with her body and whether to tell the police and things like that. I have Paper Girls #5. This is about 5 paper girls, like newspaper girls. And when they're out on their morning bike ride to distribute the paper, all of a sudden all of the adults disappear. And then there are, of course, aliens and monsters and chases and all sorts of danger. This is by Brian K. Vaughan, by the way, who is the same guy who does Saga. So if you liked Saga, you might want to check out this. And then the last thing I have is Warren Ellis's Trees. I actually picked up the first volume. I've heard really good things about this. I have yet to read it myself. Here's a little bit of the art. It looks a little bit more sketchy. But I'm looking forward to it. It should be pretty good. So there you have it. That is what I got in the last month and a half or so. That and also Octopus Sucker nail art. They had this for Bitch Planet, but I didn't want to commit to Bitch Planet nails until I knew I could put them on right. So I got octopus ones instead. I'm excited. Let me know if there is anything in here that you have read or want to read, or you know the drill, all that good stuff. I hope you're having a fantastic reading week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.